Hello and welcome to a quick look of Darkest Dungeon. I didn't start this quick look from the beginning because I just really wanted to get into some of the different things you can do and quirks and stuff. I just played it a little bit and unlocked all this stuff here, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. I think it's a really awesome game. It's really fun, and it's got its own kind of style, its own kind of quirks. And I guess we'll just get into it. When you first play, you'll be coming in on a stagecoach, you'll walk your guys, and we'll get into a mission, you'll see that. But after that first mission, you unlock your abbey here and your stagecoach. The stagecoach is where you get new guys in. My roster, as you can see up here, is full right now, but you can go here, and these items down here, these busts, portraits, deeds, and crests, you find them in the dungeons. They're part of relics of your heritage, your estate, and you can spend them to upgrade each of these areas. You have the tavern, which is stress relief. You have different types of stress relief, and different people react or can use certain stress reliefs, and they can't use other ones either because of who they are or some other things we'll show you in just a little bit. This is the Abbey, also got various stress reliefs. The Sanatorium is where you can remove these little things I was talking about. And let's go ahead and look at this. Right here, your guys have flaws. This one right here, Ruins Phobia, is one. I'm going to go to someone special. We're going to deal with her in a little bit. So we'll use her. Look at this list. Egomania, Ruins Phobia, Cytophobia, Gambler, and Bloodthirsty. Now, she didn't start out with all these. In fact, I believe she didn't have any. But as you can see, these white dots here, this is from stress. Right here, you can see it. Her stress level is 69 of 100. She's actually been in town and relieved some stress, but she's still at 69. When you go through the ruins, when your stress level goes up, you can get some of these. When you're looking through various loot stashes, you can end up with some of these. And when your hit points get really low and you're at death's door and you have to have a resolve check, as you see right here, it says resolve. Sometimes you fail that and you get some of these. So she was very unlucky, and she's got a bunch of these. And but one way to do that is you can go to the Sanatorium, and the purpose of this is we could drop her in here and spend some of our coin here to remove these and get rid of them one at a time. It takes a week basically, but we're not going to do that with her right now. You have your nomad wagons, one of the last things you unlock. There's these items that appear here variously, and of course you can upgrade this to get more trinkets available and cheaper cost on them. But these are like for certain, I guess you could call them classes. They're not really classes, they're like professions that they have. Like, say this guy, he's an occultist, and he's a highwayman, and he's a plague doctor. And so these items here can be used by certain people, and they go right here in this item slot. You can also find some things in the dungeons as well, and those will be here in your little treasure chests. I have a few. This is for a grave robber, a leper, plague doctor, occultist, and a bounty hunter. So like I could equip this right here to my occultist, and it gives him his bonuses, and he can carry that around and do his thing. Also, you have over here, you have the guild, where you can upgrade combat skills, and you use these to upgrade the mastery levels that you can get. It takes portraits, and I've been having a hard time finding portraits, so I haven't got this upgraded yet. But let's see, I want to show you one. I've already spent the money for her. I've unlocked all of these just so I could show you guys something a little bit here. Part of the cool thing about the game, how you can kind of customize these characters a little bit. When you start out, you only have 4 of these unlocked, and they're random which 4 you have unlocked. So let's go here to Bygud. You can change your name as well, just clicking here, and that changes the name. I'm going to close this and reopen this. But what you do is you have a preferred position. Now you have 4 heroes that you can take with you, or they're not really heroes. 4 adventurers that you can take with you. And each of these skills, as you can see on the left hand side, has a preferred position that it can be used from. The rear 2 on this one, the rear 3, the front 3, the rear 2, and they can't be used if you're not in that position. Now, as you can see here, she doesn't have a preferred position at the moment. So what we can do is we can uncheck these right here, and then we can go and say, hey, she's kind of got some healing skills. You know, there's a judgment and divine grace and divine comfort. Well, let's look at these. Let's give her this divine comfort and this divine grace and judgment, and then let's smack in here dazzling light. Now her preferred position is the rear 2 in your party. So you've kind of customized her to be pretty much a pure healer with this one attack here that does some stun damage and increases your torch level. And I'll show you a little bit more about torch level in a second here when we embark on just a little mission. But now she's customized to that position. There's also camping skills, and during camping, each member of your party that's still with you and alive can perform one of these skills with a time cost. You start out with so much time during the camping period, and they can perform these skills, and they have different effects on themselves or the party as a whole. You can only camp during certain missions, and you're given the firewood to be able to do that, and you need to click on the firewood to camp. Alright, so that pretty much gets into what's going on here. So let's embark on a little mission and see what you do. Now, this is the mission screen. You have to pick a mission, so let's just pick this one in the Warrens. It tells you the rewards you get for completing it, and your goal is complete 100% of room battles. And that'll make sense in just a second. But we need a party. We need some guys to take. Well, I'm going to take Valance, put him here in the 2nd position, and the reason for that is a lot of his skills, as you see, can be used in the 2nd position. And I'm going to take Basset, put him here, and the reason for that is a lot of his skills can be used in the 1st or 2nd position. Now we're going to take Bygad and put her in the rear. We've created her as our healer. Now, the cool thing about people like Dismas and Stanley, they have like weapons, and one of his is a grape shot blast. This is a multiple target skill, and I really like it, and he is pretty much going to be good in this 3rd position. So we've created a party where everybody is pretty happy in the positions that they're at. Now you go to the provisioning screen. You've got to provision these people to go on this little quest. Torches, very important. I would recommend you take at least 8. Food, you need to take 1 food per person per the amount of time you think they're going to eat. And that depends on the complexity of the dungeon. So I think 12 is good for that purpose. You can also use food to heal. 1 food restores 1 health. A shovel is a good thing. It allows you to clear obstacles with faster. The faster you can do it, the less torch levels you lose. Better thing. So take shovel, a skeleton key to unlock boxes, and 4 of these. Now the herbs and anti-venom and holy water are kind of okay, but I don't usually waste the money on them unless I know there's going to be a lot of nastiness in there. So let's embark. And it'll just take a second for the map to load up. And while it is, I'm going to sip my beverage here. Here we are. Just click. Here's your party.
Quickly down there in the dark. But perhaps we can slay them even faster.
And that's the narrator, and I love the voice. Now here is your the map, basically, of the area you're going. You can scroll with the mouse wheel. You can drag it around. And as you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rooms. And in between these are the hallways. We're currently in a room, so we have to pick a destination room. So to do that, you just click, and you're moved to the hallway. You just use your A and D keys to move back and forth, and you have encounters. As you see, they can strike anyone in your thing depending on the skills that they have. Now it's my turn. This will affect, as you can see the red on there, it says it will affect the first 3 and they're linked together, so it'll affect them all.
Executed.
And we took one out. Now if we go to one of his skills, it will affect anybody in any position but only one of them. This will affect the first 2, and this one will affect the first 2 as well. If you look at this one, it says knock back 2. We're going to use this because these guys aren't that tough, and I'll show you what that means. Hopefully he hits. He did. Now he hits, and what happens? He gets shuffled to the back. Now that's important because the creatures are the same as your guys. They have abilities, and those abilities can only be used in certain positions against certain people in certain positions. So if you have a guy up front, a big bruiser brawler, so the skeleton, they have a big bruiser skeleton. If you knock him back in the ranks, he's not going to be able to use some of his better attacks against you, which is awesome. Now, this guy, the Crusader, he has a really nice attack. It's called Zealous Accusation. As you can see, it affects the first 2 units in the rank, and it does a lot of damage considering. It's pretty awesome attack. Alright, and if you skip a turn, as you see here, it says hero will suffer stress. This right here is your stress level. If this gets maxed out, bad things start happening. You get the phobias here. You can be afflicted, and when you're afflicted, different things happen. First, you get a phobia, and depending on that phobia, your character reacts. Say, if it's a fear, then they might not do combat and skip it, raising their stress level even more. Or if it's selfishness or bloodthirsty like this one, they might rush up and attack things and push your other people back, messing up your well-crafted grouping here. So those are always not good.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
And there you go. That's the battle. And that's really all you have to do. It's kind of point and click, but it's just addicting, and it's tough. It is hard. See, we opened this. That was great. We got some heirlooms. This is your inventory. This is what you can carry. Fill it up. You have to start making hard choices. Now here's our torch level. As you can see right now, it says 82. It's radiant. And we get ++ scouting and ++ monster surprise. As that dims, the creatures, we're going to do this again. Oh, we found some edible meat in that pile of corpses. Nice. Okay, this is about the position you need to be on the door. Click in the middle of it. Your guys will go through into the room. And here's another thing. Where if we could get the swine drummer farther up, we might want to, because his attack, he's like her, the way I've designed her. Made to be in back. I'm going to get him in front. But unfortunately I don't have any attacks. As you can see, they're surprised. Now look here. We're still radiant, and it was a bonus to us surprising them. That doesn't happen as often as you would like, but when it does, you can do some good damage. Now you see here, this was a negative towards his stress level because something good happened. We're going to use one of her attacks. Let's go ahead and let's just use judgment and show you what happens. She attacks, and she heals herself. Awesome. Alright, we're going to go ahead and use his nice attack, because we don't want to take too much damage. We're going to get munched, and there's effects. Like, there we go. We got basically, this is a poison effect, so we're going to lose some damage. If we had the antivenom, we could have taken care of that, but we didn't bring any. It does a few points of damage. It's not devastatingly bad. That should... oh, we almost got him. And if you just hover over them, you can get their stats. How many hit points they have left and such. Alright.
This expedition at least promises success.
We got some crests and some busts and then some things that are worth some money, which is great. Now, at any time during the expedition, you can abandon the quest. If you do that before you complete this goal, they'll all get a huge stress increase. And so you probably won't be able to use them for the next mission. You'll have to send them for stress relief either in the tavern or the abbey. Here's your map. When you're in combat, and I'll show you in the next combat, but we have to click this room because we've got to go back down the same hallway. And there we go. We're in combat. See this little flag here? It says retreat from combat. If they'll stop spitting up on us. Whenever it's our turn, it should light up. He's being mean there. Alright, it lights up. I can try to retreat from combat. That is not guaranteed. I could fail that. But if you're having a real tough time, it might be the only way to ensure that you get away from that combat and then abandon the quest. Because you lose these guys, they're dead. Permanent death. If you come in and you spend all this money on this expedition and they've got a bunch of stuff and then everybody dies, you don't get it. And you've lost money, and that's not cool at all. So let's go ahead and get rid of these dudes. They're annoying us. I love the pistol attacks. Alright, let's do some serious damage. Start knocking them out. And our healer is going to have to be giving us some backup. Now they can dodge your attacks just as you can dodge their attacks. I'm going to go with a party heal. You just click on it, then click on yourself. Now the heals aren't that big at the beginning. And of course you can upgrade all your skills, but when you're starting out, that's the problem. Now you saw that black halo that appeared above him? That was stress. That was from he's being attacked. Things aren't going their way. They're losing hit points. It increases his stress level. He's up to 87 right now. And we're going to go with one of her dazzling lights. Oh, and he missed. That usually brings up your light level. Fortunately for us, she missed, so it didn't go off as planned. And they're doing a pretty good job of dodging. And sometimes you get that bad luck. It's just a string of bad luck. The dice rolls, I guess, do not go in your favor. And what could be an awesome, expedition can quickly turn into most of your guys lying bleeding dead on the floor and you running for your life back to town. Alrighty.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
And his narration kind of depends on how well you're doing as well. He'll say something, and if you guys are doing well, the encouraging things. Up, see? What's happening here is he's gaining stress just from being in the dungeon, just from doing the expedition. We gotta click on another room, and we go down this hallway. Now, if you look right here, this says that there's a battle here, and then 2 areas of loot right here, and then a room that has some kind of loot in it. We move forward, there's the battle. Now these guys are tough, but they're not so bad because there is an acolyte that they usually show up with, and what she does is she's always moving your guys around with her spells, knocking him back, her forward. If you run into her, take her out. At all costs, take her out, because she will ruin your life. Alright, he's marked, which basically means he takes more damage from certain attacks. And the AI doesn't seem strictly... Oh, this is good. We got a bleeding, so I can show you this. You just come in here with the bandages, right click, and throw some bandages in, stop some bleeding. It's very important to do that because you lose hit points each turn that you're bleeding. We're going to try to finish this drummer because he hasn't attacked yet. And I'm going to give him a targeted heal. Let's bring him up some. And just because we could knock one of those out. And he got positive stress off of that. Oh, he just did that single attack. Now he has a multiple attack too, but he doesn't seem to be doing it. And it may be because he's not far enough back in the line. Which is good news for me. Because it can do heavy damage against the first 3 people that you have, I believe. I don't want to do that because I don't want to raise the torchlight level, actually. I want that to go down so I can show you a little bit. See, it's dim now, and we have increased stress, and the scouting and monster surprise is lower now. Oh, they dodged. They're back on a dodgy roll. And they're dead. Grape shot to the face.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
Look. Right here, we run into a loot. If it's a possibility of being trapped, it's better to use some of the more thiefy class people. You just get close to it and left click. Sometimes you get stuff, sometimes there's nothing. These books, you can try to look through them. You drag an item here to use on it. Oh, an unsettling passage. He gets more stress. So that wasn't good at all. Now we are in this room. Now, according to our quest, we need to complete this room because this is a battle. But look at our torchlight level. Plus increased stress. The monster's accuracy and damage is increased, but our loot and our critical hits are higher. So this is the quid pro quo of the light level. The lower it gets, the higher these loot and things get, but the higher the stress levels, the worse the creatures are, the more chance of you being surprised. But you can fix that if you don't care. If you're like, hey, I'm willing to sacrifice some loot, click on the torch. Light level goes up. And this is why you need quite a few torches.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
And let him talk because he pretty much always says something very similar to that when you get to 100% or above 95, I think. Alright, so I guess I'll finish this battle. Oh, you dodged. They're very dodgy, the spiders. Played a little bit of this and
about to break.
Oh, his resolve being tested. Oh, he got a positive bonus for that. Hers was tested and she got a negative.
The walls closed in. The shadows whisper of conspiracy.
Alright, so we can just go. Oh, well, I want to look at her, so wait till it's one of my guys' turns. There we go. Oh, give me my turn, my friends. You can see who they're targeting. It highlights. Okay, it's our turn. We'll click on her. You can see she has been afflicted with paranoia. And we go to him, and he didn't get afflicted. He got a bonus. A buff right here, focused. Paranoid, focused. This helped. This did not help. And it's a problem. So let's take care of these guys. And I see they're very dodgy, the spiders. This is a pretty powerful attack. Yeah, I should take him out with that. If we can hit. Yeah, poison is hurting him. And he has a little accusation. Accuse them of stealing his M&Ms. And they are very sad. They're very hurt by his accusations. 2 down, 1 left to go. And we'll just smite this one. Oh, they like to dodge those attacks. Focus up. Yeah, he helping them out. Got plus 20 to critical here because he is focused. Oh, Dodging again. Round 3. How about some grape shot to the face?
A powerful blow.
Yes. Every once in a while you can get those criticals. And some loot.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Okay, we got this little thing here. I think I'm going to use him to see what this is. Stone used for barbaric rituals. Oh, a sinful behavior has been purged. So one of his stress-induced things is gone now. So I should have used her to do that. She has so many of those. So many of those. Alright, well, that's about it, I guess. I'm not planning on continuing this save much farther, because I was just using it to test and look around and see what everything is. I've completed the quest, actually, so let's click on there.
Experiments should have never happened. You are doing just work ending them.
Great. We got some money. This is the rewards from the quest itself, so a total of $49.50. And you can compare that what you spent on outfitting and see if you've come positive. And these are all the busts and heirlooms and pictures that we found. Alright, when your level up resolve, level up, basically it's a level up. You can come here, you get the resolve experience slowly. Get the resolve up right here. It says 2 of 8. And when you level up, this right here appears and you click on it and it says on guard. So that was a positive effect. These effects can be positive or negative. Like her. She got Bad Gambler and Warren's Explorer. So a good one and a bad one. It happens.
My obsession caused this great foulness, and it is shameful that I must rely upon you to set it right.
Yeah. Alright, well when you're back you have this activity log you can go through. Tells you what, where, who, when. And then you have one more place in town that we haven't visited. Well, 2 actually. The first one is the Survivalist. It's where you go to upgrade those camping skills I told you about. You can upgrade these little things. You know, bless, helps a companion. All companions, reduces stress. Da-da-da. And then this place. Right here. The graveyard. Where I can show you. You lose people. Lots of people. I've not played this very long and I've lost quite a few. Sometimes like her, she was doing well. She just got stun locked by a group of swine. They're like pigmen, kind of like a cross between an orc and a pigman kind of thing. And they just kept hitting on her and hitting on her and hitting on her and leaving everybody else in the party alone. She went down. So that's just the way it is. It tells you right here, succumb to blight, cultist brawler. She was bled out by a little spitter. It was a little spider in the back that got her after the pigmen beat her to a pulp. And bone defender, bone courtier, the skeletons. They just go down. Just go down. Alright, well that is the Darkest Dungeon. It's a very fun game. It's a very interesting game. It has so many quirks and everything. You just can't go with your one favorite hero. I mean, look at this guy. Look at her. They gotta go to the Abbey. They gotta go to the tavern. I can't use these guys next mission. They're too stressed out. There's real consequences. There's real things that happen to your people, and you have to make choices, and you gotta develop different teams and bring different people up. You've got to watch this money. You've got to gather your resources and upgrade your stuff and your people and make sure you still have enough for the missions that come. In my opinion, it's an excellent game. It's one of the best games that's come out so far this year. I know there hasn't been a lot many, but it's well worth the price, and it's a fun game, especially if you're into these roguelike games like this. You know, hey, there's things you could complain about, like all the people look the same. Yeah, but there's quite a few classes, and it's not done yet. If you look over here, look. Region added later, region added later. There's still more stuff they're adding. It's just in early access. And it's already a very playable, very fun game. Alright, well, I thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I do appreciate it. If you liked it, please leave me a thumbs up, comment in the comment section below, and subscribe to the channel for updates on future episodes, new series, and quick looks on great games like this. Alright, we'll talk with you later.